Today on my channel, Planner Friends, it's time to set up my 2 creative journals for October. I had some thoughts too about planning and journaling that I'm going to share with you, but let's dive in. I'm using this one for emotional wellness and that type of thing, charting my moods. This one is just a creative journaling space. I picked it up for sale on Mercari. Well, both of these were on sale. But anyway, yeah, so let's get in there and have some fun today. I know I could use it, and I'm assuming you're with me. So friends, pull a cuppa. I've got a cup of Lipton hot tea in my Atomic Cat mug. The sun is shining. Sorry about this. It's just coming through the blind. But you know what? I'm excited to be here with you. So join me, friends, and please stay tuned. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I am One Crafty Dolo. Oh, I'm glad you're here with me today. I really am. I am excited to get up to speed here in these journals. I discovered something over the past few years, and I'm going to share a few things with you today about creativity and planning. If you're new, join my growing community. We have a wonderful, wonderful group here. I'm very proud of this space. Subscribe, tap the notification bell. I will say this, I know for my own YouTube viewing, a lot of times if you just go to your feed, it shows you channels you're not subscribed to unless you watch something regularly. So yeah, the notification bell does help. And if you are a subscriber and you're part of my community, I just want to thank you so much. Alrighty, so let's get in here and let me show you what I've got and where we are in all of this. So as I said in the intro, these are 2 journals, very different. Let's show you this one first. The Skinny Classic. I almost said mini. My first Skinny Classic. I picked it up in, I guess, June because it was on sale. It was a 12-month planner, and I've been using it for emotional wellness, just kind of tracking things. This has been quite the lovely space. I've done so many flip throughs. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing, but here we are for September. So let me show you what I did for September. I just used a sticker book from Agenda 52 that I had on hand, and I used stencils and markers. Plus, if you can see, I dotted in there as well. And I like how it turned out. I really, really do. This was the Agenda 52 book. Gosh, I don't remember the name of it. Wait, did I skip a page? There we go. Sorry about that. I did skip a page. Okay, so I used that sticker book here. I mean, it just came out really quite lovely and low cost deco. Okay, that's the other thing. Using stickers I had on hand, creating my own boxes, adding dots. Here I added some of these, dots there. I don't know. I thought it came out really, really well. And so I haven't tracked anything yet here as terms of moods, because what I'll do incidentally is I write down like all the feels or how I'm feeling, whatever, just a daily look at that. I have found that to be surprisingly useful, shall we say. So we're going to get in here. I think these are new to me stamps. I picked them up at Michael's when they had a 50% off sale. So I think we'll use those in here today, and maybe some Mojo Jojo boxes. I'm not sure. So that's this one. Let me show you this one. This is just a creative space, and I have been trying all different ways to use it and enjoy it. I set this part up. I love how it turned out. And when I bought it, it had 1 month left that was dated. It's a dashboard layout. It's really been a lovely space for me. And this month, okay, so where are we? This month here's how I did it. Last month I did it differently. My mom passed away last month, so that was an entirely different thing. But here I just used paper from the Paper Studio, and then Elements, washi, stickers, things I had, again, on hand. And I think it really came together pretty nicely, if I say so myself. I like it. And I like the fact that for September, it's got the overarching theme I inked was the yellowish, this goldenrod yellow. And I think that really was good and helpful. I didn't write a quote there. I don't know how I missed that, but I'll add something in there. So now we're gonna get into here. And I want to do something different than what I've been doing. I watched a few videos. This is what I mean. I watch videos on YouTube like you do. So I have this filler paper, and then I have this filler paper. The truth of the matter is it doesn't matter which one I use. I like these pops of color in the middle. They don't drive me crazy. So I might actually just use these because I'm not going to cover. I don't think I'll cover those. But I want to show you. I had some ideas here about this. When they have a sale, stock up on things like filler paper because, yeah, it just works. So we're going to take these 2 pages out because I want to do something a little different today with you. And again, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but that's okay. I want to take the border off here. So let me talk to you a bit. I had a revelation this week, and I don't know why. I guess it's a combination of things. First off, and this is for many reasons. I mean, not just, you know, the world has been feeling very heavy lately, hasn't it? At least I feel it has, and I think most people agree. And for many reasons, it's, you know, it's personal, right? Whatever is weighing you down, well, is weighing you down, and it's not something you can just easily dismiss, diminish, etc. So what I was thinking about simply was that, let me see this again. I want to get this right here. Okay, so I'm going to cut a bit of this. I feel like I went to Michael's. Okay, let me back up. I went to Michael's. My Michael's is not going to have fabric, incidentally. I asked. They're too small a store. But at least now we moved and I have a Michael's in town. So I will be grateful for that for a long time, right? We didn't. I was in the country before and it was pretty, but oof, it was hard. Anyway, I just felt like as I stood there, and they had gotten in a lot of the fall Happy Planner items. Isn't this bag so cute? I don't think she has any more in stock. I can link the shop below, though. It's adorable, isn't it? Anyway, and I stood there, and you know what? True confession. I did not like any of the planners that they had out. They had a lot more inventory than the last time I went, and it was 40% off. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, I don't know. And then it hit me. Okay, I have a mini that I use for my home appointments, you know, cleaning, meal planning, etc. I have a classic that I use for, what do I want to say? The classic I use for goals, this channel. I'm not tracking like things like my metrics or anything like that for social media. I'm not that good at it, so I don't track it. But the truth of the matter is the planners that I have now literally bring me joy. Okay? This space and how I've created it brings me joy. And I'm standing there looking at those planners. Nope. This isn't straight. Come on, pick it up a little. Ooh, well, I may just have to play with it from there. All right, I didn't get it straight fully. It happens. And as I stood there, I'm like, why would I buy a planner that's just okay? Why would I do anything that's just okay? Why wouldn't I pick a planner that brings me joy? And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, there you go. There's something to think about. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I've hit upon something. And we often will say, well, and I know I'm not alone in this, so hear me out. How often do you say to yourself, well, I can't do A, but I'll make do with B? Or, well, I'll never be able to do A, but maybe I can do C. And I think sometimes we bring that into our creative spaces unwittingly. I'm not saying we do it on purpose, so don't misinterpret me. But I think we do that sometimes. And as I stood there, I'm like, no, I am not buying one of these planners that does not bring me joy. Now, true confession, I did pick up a planner, a classic checklist, and then when I opened it, it's pretty decorated inside already. And I've asked people and I've gotten different suggestions. I'm still on the fence about what to do with it. I got it for a bargain and I was like, okay, I got a bargain. Well, maybe not, you know. But then as I stood there, I'm like, well, why do I have to juggle to make it work? I can, and I like things like this. Yes, this cost me $8 for this and for some, they included some, what do you want to call them, plastic, you know, the pockets, right, and other things, but that's $8, and I've made this work because I'm using it creatively, but for my regular planner. And so I want to ask you something, and it's simple, but it's true. Everybody, I'm in a few planner groups, and I love them. I love them. I'm on Instagram. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But everybody's like, what are you doing for 2026? What are you doing for 2026? And now, you know what my answer is going to be? I'm going to create planners that in planners that bring me joy. And it sounds a little bit whifty, maybe. It sounds a little aspirational. I'm going to do this last one. Okay, friends, so let me show you what I've got here. The first 2 pages are lined. The next 2 are graph paper from that same filler paper pack. And then the third are lined. I don't know if I'll decorate the third today with you or not, because I do want to get to the other journal, but that's okay. Now, I have all kinds of washi to my right here. It's what I do. These are from the most recent Simply Gilded washi collection. Well, the box, I should say, their subscription box. It was Mystique Botanique, and it's beautiful, and I love it. Now, I think we're going to use some of these in here because why not, right? And I pulled this out. It's a block print Agenda 52 book and Mojo Jojo plants. Now, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with all this, but you know what? That's kind of the fun of it. I like playing with it and playing on camera with you and deciding at the moment. So I'm going to pull out some tools here. And the idea is to create journaling spaces that make you happy. It's not just the journaling. It's for journaling. Let's see if I can find the end here without ruining my nail polish. Okay. Journaling is important, but it's also creating it and seeing what you could do with it. I like that part of the process as well. And since I'm going full out fall colors everywhere, I thought in here, they still have an aura of fall to them, but they're not, you know, like quite the standard, but that's okay. Right? We want to have some fun here and just create. And yeah, so anyway, all right, where was I? Okay, so back to our regular scheduled program, right? Here's the thing. I guess we could say that about everything in life, but I don't know that we would. The truth of the matter is, though, what brings you joy? And sometimes work does, sometimes work doesn't. Sometimes life does, sometimes life doesn't. So then it seems to me that in our creative pursuits, we should be more focused on creating joy, because a lot of times work is just that. It is work. Life is lifing, and we're trying to manage as best as we can. So I'm standing there in the aisle of the, in the planner section. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if any of these work. I do have a mini planner for next year. I'm still not sure what to do about the classic, but my point being is, same with social media, okay? There's these curated feeds, and I've been trying to I take decent pictures. I mean, they're not spectacular, but they're okay. And then post them and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, this is getting boring to me. And so I want to do more realness, if you will. Show some of the messy sides and show some of real life, because gosh darn it, nobody's perfect. And to curate everything, I don't know, it just gets to me, especially when, as I said, things feel so heavy. So those are just some of my thoughts about planners. And so to that end, I'll be honest with you, I did something I didn't expect to do it, but I'm glad I did it. I went and I destashed a ton of things. I just did. I got rid of, sold things I didn't think I'd ever part with. I sold it, got rid of it. Price to sell, got rid of them. Glad they're done. And I feel like it lifted me, if it makes sense. What I mean by that is that I felt lighter getting rid of things that are just sitting on my shelf. I had a great collection of pocket planners, for example. Well, now many of them have been removed and they're gone. And I'm okay with that. I still will use pocket planners. Don't misinterpret me. I save the ones that I definitely want to use going forward, but I got rid of stuff. A5s, personal. I used to use personal size. That's when I started this channel. So much of it was about personal size planners, because that's what I use from Carpe Diem. They're great planners, love them, but things change. So I got rid of some of my personals. And so I thought to myself, okay, I don't want to do anything hasty, but I felt lighter, and I had already culled my planner stash and collection because of moving, right? So I had already done that, but I felt like I needed to do more, if that makes sense. So yeah, I guess that's all I'm really saying. I think, should I use this blue? I feel like the blue washi included in the kit. No, I'll wait on those. I think I'll just use this mushroom again. So anyway, those are just some thoughts about planning. And if you're looking at next year already, that's great. If you've picked it out, great. If you haven't, that's okay too, because it seems every year the planner, companies try to get the stuff out earlier and earlier, and it's, barely September, and they're like, hey, 2026, and you're like, wait, 2026, where am I going to be? What will be, etc. I don't know. So yeah, I'm going to wait a while to make real decisions and not give in to all that crazy kind of pressure that comes through the community. I love the community, don't get me wrong. Love it. Really, I really do. However, that brings me to my second main topic here, is creativity. And I would like to I'm very creative in my planning. Let's start there. But I've been thinking about new ideas, things to include in my planners for next year that I haven't, ways to go about it, etc. And we'll see what I can do with regards to that. Now, wait. Okay, so this is kind of an ombre. It's a little bit of purple, greenish, bluish. Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't realize I thought it was all kind of a blue color. So creativity in your planning. Some people, I watch videos all the time for inspiration. True confession. I don't just have a YouTube channel. I'm always looking for inspo. And one of the things I've noticed, I look at things that I might not normally do. For example, minimalist planning. Clearly, I don't think I'm very minimalist here. I like the colors. This past month in my Classic Happy Planner, I used neutrals and it was fun. Well, this month, I should say September. And I'm glad I'm going back into color for October. Okay. All that being said, friends, maybe sometimes we switch things up, we switch styles. Here's how I'm looking at all of it, and this is partially why I'm like, no, I'm not going to fully decide my lineup until probably December, is that life changes. Okay, I had something, an Aura Estelle passport planner that I began in July of 2024. I called it a trauma journal. Basically, it was coming to terms with different things that had happened in life, the implosion of my former marriage, etc., and things, kind of baggage. You know, we all carry stuff with us, whether we want to or not. Well, what I didn't know when I started that darn thing was that my beloved mother was going to pass away. And so the irony is at the end of that year into August, right? But I needed that space. And if I had not been doing it already, I don't know that I would have continued writing in it. Like, in other words, let me try that again in English. Because I'd been writing in it for a full year, it made the transition to dealing with my grief easier. The journaling space helped me in real time to cope. It did. It really helped me to cope. And so that in and of itself made handling the grief somewhat easier. And so you never know what your creativity is going to give you later on in terms of it. Okay, so I want to look at these markers. These are on my Amazon list, and these. I was going to use the boxes in here. I don't know that I will. I have a different idea. I've got one of my old Carpe Diem rulers here, which help. I think the question is, what color do I want to use? These are so dark. You know what? I kind of want to see what this one look like. Okay, so do I have an old piece of paper laying around? Of course I do. So we have this one. I like that. And we have this one. Okay, that's for the bluish one, I think. Blue green, and this one, mile liner. I think I'm gonna go with the Amazon ones that I purchased. Okay, so let's see how we're gonna do this. I have an idea. We'll see if we can make this work. I have stencils, but I decided not to use the stencil just because, you know. Alrighty, if I can do it in the other planner, I can do it in here, right? Right. Just give me a minute. I always get nervous when it comes to getting things straight, and I know it doesn't have to be perfect. I guess my point, what I'm trying to say to you is the creativity ends up helping your emotional state. And then when it comes to your planner, how far are you willing to go with the creativity? Or do you want to just pick up something that's, you know, pretty ready to go? And so in terms of next year, maybe your style will change and you don't know it yet. You know, I didn't know when I started that journal that I was going to end it with one of the saddest things in my life. And so, you know, we grow, we change is all I'm trying to say. Yeah, I like that. We change, we grow, we move, yeah. And so my take on all of it is to look at yourself and assess where you are. You know, I was watching, I like Marianne Cresp, C-R-E-S-P. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 1. I like her videos, and I even like some of her printables, but they're only sized for A5 and for personal size. But I think she's got great ideas about self-care and even perfectionism and so forth. I love getting ideas from other creators. I think her ideas she has a planner printable bundle, and honestly, if I could purchase it, I would, but I'm using minis and I'm not using. She shows you in the video how to, what do I want to say? She shows you how to resize it so you can fit it like A5 into a, you know, from a mini, like to a disc bound, but I don't want to do that. But anyway, look, I'm just saying, when it comes to creativity, maybe you can sometimes and maybe you can't sometimes. I didn't use my mini for August because I could barely keep it going, you know? And so, yeah, we have to be kinder to ourselves, in my opinion. And if the planner community is putting pressure on people. Well, that's on the planner community. That doesn't mean you have to be part of it, I guess. And I like the planner community. I'm meeting wonderful people like yourselves. But just saying, it's, get ideas, collect and understand that it may work for a while, but then it may not, and that's okay too. This space is working. Am I going to use this exact space come January? That's a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4. The one's a little bit close, but that's okay. I'm human. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to do. But I do know that I will be continuing to create. And the other thing is buying everything in advance. You don't know what bargains you're going to find, like I found with this. So that's just some thoughts, There's so much pressure. Buy it. Oh, gosh. For example, one thing I'm thinking about is my prayer journal. I have a prayer journal that's an Erin Condren Petite Planner, and I've used this as my second year of doing it. Do I want to do it again? Do I want to get something else? I don't know. Okay, so we created some funky lines and some boxes, and I actually think it works. Oops, let's see here. Okay. This I want to do a little differently. Now, do I want to, let me look at this again. I might use this darker one even on here. Let's get warm in here. It was a cold, cold morning. So I don't know, friends. I'm just kind of riffing here, but these are some important thoughts, I think, because, I think most of us have had enough pressure on us in our lifetimes, and so we don't have to pressure ourselves. And yet we internalize it, and we do that. I don't know if you've realized how much you internalize these things. And I know myself, yes, perfectionism is not my friend. And so, that's going to extend to life, social media, etc. Let's see if I can just get this right here. And no, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be so hard on myself. I don't know if you're following me, if you've watched any of my sewing videos. I haven't actually sewn anything yet, but that's okay. I am working on it. And this week has been transformative in that regard, and I'll be sharing with you more next week. It's a new project to pay homage to my mom, who was an incredible seamstress, pattern maker, designer, sewer. So yeah, that's been a really fun project to do. And yeah, wait till you see. If you haven't seen my library video, I don't know, it's a short I created out of the longer video. But yeah, when you see the sewing space in my library, it's like, oh my gosh, it's to die for. I do have a hand-me-down sewing machine at home, but I also wouldn't mind going there sometimes to just kind of, yeah, you get it, right? Be there, be present, kind of do things. We'll see. We'll see what I do. Okay, so you can see I'm just kind of riffing here. I didn't have a full plan in doing this, but that's okay. You can create any kind of journaling space. I like discs and I like rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, one more. I like them a lot because I feel like you can really customize them. And here, I think we're just going to go like this, down the middle. Make it straighter. There we go. It's not quite super straight, but that's okay. You know what? Let's leave it. We will figure that out. And then here, I almost wonder if I should use a bluer marker. Let's see here. Okay. These are good markers, and they're not expensive, which makes them even nicer, in my opinion. Let's see what we got here. Nope, I don't think so. I think the darker one will probably... Yeah, definitely the darker one. Okay. So let's take a quick peek here. So I've got these boxes and some lines. I've got more boxes and lines. Of course, these are a little wonky. Not totally sure what I'm doing here yet, but I don't have to be. Okay. And what do I want to do here? I think I'm just going to do some lines. You know what? Yeah. So it's all different, but I'm skipping. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Okay, let's try that again. So if you haven't joined my sewing journey, which includes basically picking out fabric and patterns, and it's all leading up to this, I'm pretty excited about it, frankly, and I hope you'll join me. I do. I really do, because it's another fun creative project. I'm nervous, excited, but that's sometimes the best thing to be. But you know what? True confessions. I'm always nervous, excited when I create one of these videos, and I've been planning for like 10 years now, or 9-10 years, and so using a paper planner, that is. And why would I be nervous? I don't know. Just being honest with you, I get nervous, excited because I still love it so much. Okay, so why don't we start here now? I'm going to wait on these for the skinny, but I think we can add some bits and bobs from here in here. Ah, Lordy, it's so pretty. Rest and relax, that's good. Appointment, that's not what these are here, though, you know. If you hear some funny noises, I share my office with 2 turtles. Ah, here we go. Okay. I like the today. That's brown, though. There's only one green today. Reminder, today, to do, relax. I like relax, day off. Remember. Sorry. Let's just get in here and create, shall we? Anyway, the turtle sometimes, when he goes into his little pond, there's a water turtle, but then there's the other turtle who just kind of, I don't know, makes some noise, shall we say. I'm just looking to see what all, I've got a lot of black stickers left, that's for sure. But that's okay. Okay, so let's start with this one. And since this is mushroomy, this fits certainly. Okay, and we're gonna put this right here. And I think I have to cut a little bit off, and that's okay. Okay. And we have a smaller one, just flowers. My goal is to use up as many stickers as I possibly can. Let's put this one along the end there. And you know what? I'm looking, I kind of like this creepy bird. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of Poe, you know, the raven. It's probably just an old crow, but still. Okay. I think we can put this up here. See what I mean? You just grab supplies that you happen to have on hand and just play. And it's wonderful and it's lovely, and you're using things up, because how many of us have so many stickers that we haven't used up and they're just sitting there, you know, just a thought. So yeah, look, I hope my ideas about your planners should always bring you joy, and that, you know, you have the right to decide like what works. I'm not so sure. You know what I can do? I know I can use some of the brown stickers in here. Okay, let me just look here again. So this one, these are horizontal, these are vertical with some horizontal lines and so forth. Okie dokie. You know, I wouldn't mind making these lines a little less terrible. So how do I do that? Just bulk them up a little, that's all. There we go. All right, that's better. Remember, I'm learning and creating with you. I don't ever think I do things, that's better. I don't think I do things perfectly by any means. But again, if I can show you, you know, and know that I have some real visual challenges, and so I don't get things straight a lot of the time. But I keep going because I'm having fun. All right, that's better, right? I think we might use some of the brown in here, some of these brown stickers. So why don't we take this friend, and this is totally different from, oh, somebody's loud. Goodness. I have a quiet neighborhood until I'm filming, right? Some of these Yeah, these are good. Some of these are big though, and I don't necessarily want big. But there's some small brown ones. There's some of these moths. The moths are okay. Sometimes they kind of creep me out. I don't know if that's just me. Is it a me thing? Oh, this one is nice. This one right here. So yes, I've journaled very differently in this in different ways, and I like that. I like that it's different. I feel like this should go down here. No, don't wanna. Okay, there we go. Good. Getting there. I have this sunshine. That's kind of cool, but I don't know that I want to use it. Let's go back through here again. Make today count. I like that. It's too big, I think. How about one relax? Okay. One relax, or better yet, put it right below. So you just barely see the, it shows you how not straight that is. Oh my gosh, friends. Okay, I ended up putting those over here because, yeah, you could see why. And I also remembered something, and I warmed up my tea because it tends to get cold sitting here. And that's okay. You know, we're just doing what we can do. I think a few more, and I cut this down so it didn't interfere with that line, and I think that looks better. I do. And so I want to put this one here. Again, don't want it to interfere with the lines. And I kind of like these little, let me see here, hold on. I know it's taking me forever and a day, but that's okay. We're good, right, friends? You don't mind, I hope. Alrighty. So yeah, I'm just suggesting we don't drive ourselves crazy with perfectionism and all of that. Now these, Zoe's here. Hello, Zozo. I don't know how well this goes here, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll use the brown. I could even, if I wanted to, I could use some of the black stickers too. Right? Why not? This I've kind of left vague. Let's focus on the other two, and I'll come back to this. I did also pull out, hello, Zoe girl. Zoe says hello. I pulled this out. This is the pet tape that came with the Botanique Mystique collection. And I think this could add a lot in here. I don't want to use the actual sticker kit from Simply Gilded. I want to save it for something else, but I think these can add, and they're not huge, right? They're just perfect. So Zoe. Poor Zoe. Don't let her fool you. She's fine. She's just Zoe. Yeah, we'll just add some, let me move this out of the way. Okay. Some bits and some bobs and some bobs and some bits. I like these so much. Am I going to have to pause filming to tend to this biggie? My biggie girl? I might, Zoe girl. Let's see here. What else have we got? How about this open book? Yeah, in the sticker subscription kit, the subscription box, I guess you'd say, she's including more and more, and now she's including a smaller pet tape. And I am here for it, let me tell you. These are kind of like medicine bottles. We have a dream catcher there. Oh, Zoe. Friends, I'm gonna have to pause. Sorry about that. I ended up putting a few more stickers with one hand while I was petting Zozo with the other. So here we have it. I think it's shaping up pretty nicely, actually, slowly but surely, right? It's coming together. Now, you know what? I'm gonna let this be for now. I'll be honest with you. This video is gonna be long enough, and I will come back to this and I'll figure out what to do with this section here. I'm not entirely sure yet, and that's okay. I mean, I still have how many weeks left for October? I mean, it's already begun. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So I have to catch up here, but I like it. I think it's funky and it's different. It's totally a different vibe than I originally thought of I was going to do, and that's okay, and I like it. I think this is, just get in here and play and have fun. So now Okay, that's that. Let's get into the skinny because the skinny is always lots of fun. I need to get some ink and my silicone mat, friends. All right, friends, so I grabbed some ink. I also have these inks. I might wait on these, but these are really great for autumn. Let's put them over there. All right, and so I have these 3 stamps. I have other stamps I thought of adding, but you know what? No, I think we're good with what we've got. And so I've got Archival Ink, Orange Blossom, and Goldenrod. So I think Orange Blossom and maybe Goldenrod in this one, and I'm not sure we'll put the other, maybe that'll be on the following page. So I just want to come in here and add a bunch of leaves because I can. And sometimes they'll be fully on the page maybe, and sometimes they'll be a little off the page. I don't think that's a bad thing. Let's see, where do I want to begin? I'm going to begin down. It's a good question. So I think I'll start right here, down here. And then we'll fit the Mojo Jojo boxes in where we decide we can, how we can, when we can, you know. It'll work. It's kind of cool, actually. I'm going to put a little bit here, down here, part of a leaf. Up here, part of a leaf. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's do some of these. Right? It's kind of fun. Stamping is always fun, I gotta tell you, in my opinion. Stamping is just one of the joys of creating is stamping, in my opinion. I think should I cover this? Yeah, with my ridiculous correction tape, because in my same little, keep all my certain things in there, and I always have them close by. There we go. That's a little better, I think. Alrighty, sorry about that. Let's re-ink to make sure we're good. It's pretty. It's really pretty. I think we can add another one up here. Maybe like bring it off the page a little bit. Oh yeah, that's even better. Huh, see, you never know. And I do want to put one over here, kind of. Okay, so I know it's getting on the mat, but I'm okay with that. I would like maybe 1 or 2 more of these, because those are so big, but you know, these are okay. It's pretty, it really is. Oh, so much fun. I think what I'll do here is I'm going to come over here, just like that. Maybe over here, kind of like this, just partials. And then I think I am going to do another one up here. It's cute. It works. It definitely works, friends. Okay, and then, because I want to do 2 weeks, this is a well-loved silicone mat, as you can see. Let me grab the other page here. Oh, I'm having fun. That's all that matters. And I hope you're having fun with me. So I won't be deciding fully my full layout until I come into, like, you know, maybe after Black Friday, if that makes sense to you. I feel like that'll definitely be a time where I'll know more and I'll feel better about it. But you know what? In the meantime, that's okay. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. Let's see. Let's do one down here. Yeah, just a partial. Okay, I do need to cover that too. I like the skinny classic. Would I get a skinny mini? You know what? I might at some point, just for fun and to create and to play like I'm playing in the other regular mini. Why not? Seems to be a really good planner. I like the size. The only thing that's hard for me is that there's no lines in here. So, and here I'm actually gonna put 2, 3. There we go, good. I'm gonna do the same up here. So yeah, I need lines because I'm not the neatest, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Not perfect, but that's okay. And you know know what? I kind of want to add more in over here. That one didn't come out quite as good, but let me see if I can. Yeah, that's better. Kind of a Zoe here. Oh, Zoe. I love Zoe so much. I think we're good with stamping. All right, now let me clean up a little. All right, friends, so we've got some cuteness on these pages. I like how they turned out, and I really wanted to just stick with these kind of neutral boxes, although I'm wondering, hold on. I have this monthly glitter boxes, but I don't know how much I have. Well, I have some left, not a lot though. Truthfully, look at this. This is pretty well picked over, isn't it? Yeah, we're gonna wait on that. Just a thought for a moment. Okay. So she has in this, I picked this up for half price, which makes it really great. These different colors, you can see the different shades of brown. I think she did a really good job in here with this. So what I'd like to do, let's just look here a minute. Do I want to use the light ones here? Do I want to use the middle ones here maybe? I don't know. I don't want to use the dark ones yet, I don't think. I like these. Kind of like these medium ones. So why don't we start off with a few of these just to, yeah, really pretty. Right. I try to get them straight. Something's crooked here. Let me see. Kind of straighter. We'll see. I do my best, you know. I know it has character. Okay, one of these here. Let's see what else we've got in this shade. So this is kind of the middle shade, and I like it. I think it works nicely, actually. So let's try putting something like this here, over here. Let's put a larger one right here. It doesn't have to have boxes every day. In fact, I don't want it to have boxes every day. So we'll play a little more, but then I have some other thoughts here. I feel like I am just going too fast, and as such, everything is crooked, and I need to slow down. You're glad to spend time with me. I'm glad to spend time with you, and I need to slow the heck down, right? Right. I think Zoe threw me off a little bit, truthfully. She usually doesn't do that. Usually Lexi is the one who comes around and howls at me. You know, I'm always letting Lexi down, and she's not afraid to let me know that I am letting her down in some capacity. These, no, I think they might be too big. I don't want to cover. Do they have blank ones? She does. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I don't want the lined ones, but I could use this one sideways. Couldn't I? Yes, I could. Okay, now she also has back here these pages with the checklists and the dots. And I am all about using up as many dots as we can. So let's do this. Let's do that. We'll put 3 there. Yep, that looks good. And we'll put 3 over here. 2. I'm not done decorating that though, so just know that. I think I'm going to add something else in here. I'm not sure. Yeah, this works. I should probably draw lines, but I'm going to try to do my best to write it straight. If I have to draw lines, I will. And, you know, it's not a big deal. These are cute. This works. This works nicely. Okay, now let's add our boxes over here. So since I use the medium color, I think I'm going to use the lighter color over here, which is right here. It's kind of a creamy color, isn't it? It's really pretty. So what I'd like to do first off is put some dots down because, yeah, now let me look again. I don't want to do the same things in the same spots. Okay, so why don't we put, oops, a dot here. Oh, I have a story for you. The other night I had to run to the grocery store for something I'd forgotten. And I go outside, and it was dark, but there were these 2 little boys in the driveway apron. And they're like, hey, and they're talking to me, and they were sweet. They were just sweet kids. Oof. So the one, since we moved, we rented a house because we wanted to be in this city and know it before we bought something. So the one kid says to me, my mom and I used to live here. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice, you know, da, 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 da. And he then proceeds to tell me how he's, you know, living with his dad now, and he doesn't always like it. He wished he still lived here. And the poor kid, you could see he's struggling. Well, my former educator, you know, I worry about the world self kicked in, and I didn't know. You know what I said to him? I just felt so bad for this little guy. I said, you know what? Sometimes grown-up stuff is just too hard. I said, and I understand that. I said, but you're a good guy. I said, and you always have to remember that no matter where you are, no matter who you're with, you're a good guy. And regardless of what's going on around you, you're going to stay a good guy and you're going to be strong. He liked it. And I felt for him. I really, really felt for this little boy, you know. And so, yeah, it was just one of those moments where it's like, my educator self kicked in, and I just couldn't help it. I just wanted this little guy to be okay. And as we know, sometimes kids are and sometimes they're not. And I get that, you know. So it was a moment. I had a moment, shall we say. Lord. Yeah, I felt for him. I really did. I really felt like, wow, okay, kid, I got you on this one. I got it, you know. So, yeah, I mean, my own son has had his, is this darker? Yes, this is dark. What did I do? Eeks. My son has had his struggles with, oh, no. Okay, no panic. You know what we're going to do, don't you? We're just going to cover it up as best as we can. Okay. Well, I know it and you know it, but no, we don't have to tell anyone else. It just hit me for a minute there with that little guy. I felt for him. But it's true. We all do the best we can, and sometimes it's hard. Life is hard for adults, never mind kids, right? So I enjoyed talking to him, even if it was a little bit sad. Then he was telling me how his friend keeps failing school, and he's put back 2 grades and this and that. And I thought, well, it could be worse, kid, right? It could be worse. All right. I think it's cute. It's not crazy. I will probably add some dots in. I also have, I've got some of my autumnal washi sitting over here. And I have this book washi, which I've been using as of late. And you know what? Do I want to add? Do I want to add this one in? No, it's too pastel. I just used the mushroom the other day. I think, let's see here. I think this one would look good here. So I'm just going to cut a few small pieces. Okay, let's do a clean cut here and here. Let's see. I think this one can go right here. Just a little bit of washi to brighten it up. It never hurts, right? It never hurts to add washi, in my opinion. I'll put a little down here, right here. And do we want to add any more? Probably, maybe one more somewhere. I would say right up here. Okay, just a few little strips to add in a little extra color. And I think I can use either this. I had another one over here. Wait, I had this one. That's too dark. I've got all these washi tapes like lined up here. It's kind of crazy. I don't want to use what I was using earlier. That could be it. I just used the mushroom. That's more red. I am going to go with the books just to add a little extra color. Just a little, friends. So yeah, kids, sometimes it's tough for kids. And I felt for the little guy. You know, you just want to make things better for them. And sometimes it's hard to do that. And believe me, I know. We all do the best we can at any given time, right? Just little bits of washi here. Okay. And we'll put a little on the bottom, and then I think we're good. And when I write in here, I will probably add some dots as well. And that looks good. It's very autumnal. And so, yeah, I think we're good with this. And then I think we're pretty good. Oops. This thing is chunking up, and I put it on some classic discs here. And I like this. I like the fact it's a little moody. I'm going to play a little more, and I'll be right back, friends. Okay, we're good. I will dot in here. So we have these two. This is done. We're set. I'll add in a few other things. This is week 1. I love it. Week 2, totally different. It's almost like a kind of a bullet journal. And here's what I did for the 3rd week. I just added a line down the middle. I added some of the pet tape stickers, and it works, and I'm happy. Thanks so much for being here with me, friends. Goodness knows, I hope you know how much I appreciate you. Grab your stickers, grab an outdated planner. Track your wellness, track your health, track your creativity. Write what you need to write. Get it out, because getting things out always helps. Thanks again for being here, friends. Goodness knows, I appreciate you. Bye now, friends.